Hello everybody, Sergeant Solj here, and welcome to the wonderful world of Hurtworld. A lot of people have been saying that I really need to get into this game because there's a huge lack of content for this game specifically because it just came out. Not a lot of bigger YouTubers are doing it, or the ones that are recording, they're not doing a very good job of it, or they're missing very useful things that players actually want to know. So quite a few people have said, Sergeant Solj, can you look into the game, see if it's something that you want to record? And I did, and actually I really do want to record this. It is fun. This is the first impression video. I wanted to at least put this out to give you guys my thoughts on the game, both pro and against, pros and cons. But all in all, I do think I'm going to play this game. I think I am going to record. I'm going to try to make this not as a big a part of the channel as Rust is, but I think at least a small portion of the channel can be dedicated to Hurtworld. So we just got to see how you guys react to the videos and if you want more. So starting off, I'm going to say yes, I'm recording. Number two, the pros and cons for this game. Now, I completely understand that this is a early development, like pre-alpha. This baby is so brand new that there's still a lot of things that needs to be adjusted on it. But that being said, that's okay. Like, you get into this game knowing that it's early alpha or early access, and you know things aren't going to be great from the beginning. It's okay. So, number one, my first pro for this game is the survival environment. This game will kill you, even if the players don't. You can die. If you log into the server at night, you will die. Just like that. You're dead. Sorry. Wait till daytime. It gets too cold. If you're in the snow area and you don't have proper clothing, you're dead within minutes. In the desert, you overheat. You're dead within minutes. There are actual enemy AIs in this game that will hunt you down and kill you. I really like that. It actually gives the game a challenge aspect outside of the players, and I really like it. Not only that, the game also has an infamy system where I don't think it works all of the time, because in certain situations, like you want to kill somebody and you all of a sudden you get infamy for 15 minutes, you know, it kind of sucks. But also at the same time, it's like, you know what? I just got to do something else for 15 minutes. So it's not that bad. This is actually a system that I think could work for Rust. And I think it ties into the survival aspect of the environment as well. My first con, though, is definitely the graphics. This game is a little too cartoony for my tastes. In this aspect, you know, it doesn't look bad, but when you press F2, you really can't tell, actually. But, like, the wood, all these items, they're really cartoony looking. And I know that turns a lot of people off towards the game. And I hope that at some point the developers are going to look at this and go, maybe we should, you know, make some graphical improvements to tweak it. Having it be a little cartoony isn't bad, but I think at the current pace that the game is going, it's a little too far. And I hope that if development were to continue, this might be something they're going to look at. Next up, we have the second pro, and that is the Legacy Nostalgia. This map that they have currently in the game is a static map for all servers. It's the same thing, just like Legacy was. So, let's say I'm on a private server right now and I said, oh, this is a really good spot to build. I should build here on another server. I can go to another server that I'm actually playing on, go to that same spot, and build the exact same way that I built on a test server. I think that's really cool. It enables people to learn the map, to learn the game. That's one thing that Rust kind of did wrong, in my opinion, is they went with the proc-gen random maps, and people don't learn the maps anymore. It's just, oh, well, where's the three main monuments? Okay, let's build around those. Because those are the only thing that they're sure of, they know where they're at. Because most of the time, they're always in the same locations. Either they're in the north or they're in the south. Very few times do you actually see them in the center of the map. But once you know where they're at, all roads lead to them. So I really like that about this. Also, in certain regards, though, that's kind of a mistake. Because it is a little too much like Legacy. And I feel like they took some of the mistakes that came along with Legacy. For one, you can't chop a tree. There's just like Legacy. You see that log out there that I'm pointing at? You have to hit that with a hatchet in order to collect the resources. I don't think that's really a good idea. Not only that, I mean, it's just a log. A bunch of logs. Like, it doesn't even look like a down tree. I think, honestly, the way that experimental changes so that when you hit the tree you get wood, I think that that's a much better idea. And even though this game has a little bit of a cartoony look to it, a little bit of realism in that regard couldn't hurt. Furthermore, another thing that they kind of took from Legacy that they probably shouldn't have taken from Legacy is the overabundance of extra crafting. Personally, I'm not a fan of having to craft tier 1 items, to make tier 2 items, to make tier 3 items, to make tier 4 items. But that's me. Like, I like straightforward crafting. If you want to make this item, you have to make this resource, and this resource makes the item. That's it. But, you know, some people like that extra challenge in regards to making stuff. I don't know. That's personally my gripe. Like, I don't like making planks in order to make a house. I don't like making concrete in order to make a house. But that's just me. So anyway, sorry, we're getting a little long here in this video. Number 3 for a pro is they have cars in this game. And it isn't completely smoothed out yet. It's a little on the rough side. But all in all, it still works fairly well. And not only that, the cars actually are a 2- and 3-seater, and I believe even a 4-seater. Which is really cool because you can actually take your friends places. You could drive between houses in one biome to the next biome. And, you know, you could live together, you could gather resources together. That being said, though, the cars are a huge bullseye for you or your clan or your, you know, group or your tribe, whatever they're called. If you have a car, people are going to try to kill you. I was playing with my friend Big Mike last night. He was helping me kind of learn the game. Somebody shot through the window and killed me, one hit in the car while it was driving. How that happens, I don't know. But literally, like, my body fell out of the car, my box fell out of the car with my inventory. I died. It sucked. But all in all, though, I still think the cars were implemented pretty well. I can't wait to see how they expand on it further, because as of right now, I think there's like 4 different types of vehicles, and it's pretty exciting. I really like it. The next con is the lack of armor, which kind of ties into the car story where I got shot. One shot in the head. There really isn't any armor. There's clothing that protects you against the environment, but with all the iron crafting and all that stuff, like, you should be able to make some kind of protection plates. I'm not talking like full, you know, suit of armor or Kevlar or something like that. Just, you know, random little plates where you can make an upgrade kit for a jacket that puts metal plates on the shoulders, or, you know, something like that, to where it gives you a little bit of extra protection. Because in this game, if you get shot, normally if you get shot with a bow, you take a lot of damage, and there isn't anything to really protect you from that. Same with a gun. If you get hit with a gun, you're dead. That's it. You're just dead. End of story. You lose all your stuff. And this guy could have been hiding up in a mountain up there and shoots you down. You had no chance. In that regard, it kind of sucks. Like, having no protection whatsoever from that kind of stuff, it sucks. Now, I've only been playing the game for a couple hours, and I haven't seen everything yet. That might actually be in the game, and I just might not have discovered it, but so far, from my first impression, that's what I have. It seems to be a lack of armor in regards to the PvP. Next up, the frame rates. I'm recording in 60 frames right now, and it looks absolutely beautiful. You cannot record 60 frames on my computer for Rust for some reason. Like, the server can sometimes maintain 60 frames steadily for an hour, but a lot of the times when I'm doing stuff, like, the frames will dip into the 40s or 50s around large structures. Now, that being said, there are no structures around me right now, but still, like, from what I found, the frame rate in this game is really, really steady, and I think that that's going to help pull people away from Rust that are sick and tired of getting 10 frames to this game where they're going to be getting a lot more frames. So if you're having trouble with Rust and you can't run the game, you get 10 frames, your game's crashing, honestly, I would at least suggest this game just to try it out. Oh, it's getting dark. That's not good. Okay, so the next con, turning off the HUD. I have not found a way to turn the HUD off, and that is the health bar and my hunger bar, because I'm starving, and the item tray at the bottom. I have not found a way to turn that off. Now, that's really minor. Some people might not care about that, but I like to record, and I don't always like to record with that stuff in the way. I like just to have the screen and nothing but the screen, and I think it gives it a unique look that Rust has that I really think Hurtworld should try to pick up. Even if it's just an option that is in the menu just like Rust, just toggle HUD off. I think it would go a long way. Also with chat too, turning chat off to ignore some really stupid people probably wouldn't be a bad idea. And I have not found that, so I don't know if it's actually in there or not, but if I have, please let me know how to find it. Alright, last 2 things. I'm going to try to make it quick because it's getting dark and I will die by freezing in the dark. The last pro is the bow crosshair, gun crosshair. You see that in the center there, that little circle? That is what you're pointing at. When you're shooting a bow, You aim slightly above your target and the bow will hit that person. You don't have to adjust the positioning of your hand and try to guess and hope for the best. Like, if you're aiming there, it's going there. It's the same with the spear and the guns and everything. I really like that. Like, I know it's easy mode, and some people are like, oh, there's no skill involved in that. Yeah, sure, whatever. Screw off. I still really enjoy it because it makes it easier. The game is hard enough as it is when you consider the environment's trying to kill you nonstop. But when you add in the fact that you have to have, you know, luck in aiming weapons or guns and arrows and stuff like that, like, you have to have luck in aiming, and if you miss, it kind of gives your position away. You know, that just makes it not fun. Having that little tiny circle there just to kind of adjust off of makes it so much easier, and I really like that. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is a con, and it's probably going to get fixed in development in the future, but it's the item and mechanic description. Like, going into my handcraft here, like, tools, okay, workbench. Used to craft more advanced items. Can we get like a little bit more description in some of that stuff? Like, used to make what kind of advanced items? Like, used to make advanced tools, advanced machines, advanced clothing, you know, stuff like that. Also, which I don't actually have a workbench down. Let me craft one real quick here. Give me a few seconds. There's a couple things where it doesn't really make much sense in the workbench here, and I'm going to show you. Crafting's going to take me a few. What's the crafting time on this thing? 30 seconds? No. Oh, I'm freezing! Oh, I'm shivering. Okay. We gotta hurry this up. I'm gonna die. Alright, place. We're gonna get into other things such as item placement and whatnot later on. Right now, I just want to put this workbench down. I think I'm in a spawn area and it won't let me do it. Or it's the slope. Alright, ignore the blue around the screen. I'm just freezing. I'm probably gonna die. Oh, I had it. There it is. Okay, so let's see. Ammo. Bullets. These are all just regular bullets, and they craft in different amounts. But, like, is there anything different between these bullets that use animal fat and shaped iron for 20 bullets, and these bullets that use animal fat and shaped mundanum? I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem like the bullets are any different. They just take different materials, and they craft in different amounts. Like, I think that the bullet should either be called something different, or the description should be different, so you know, this is this kind of bullet, this is that kind of bullet. Another thing here, if you look at arrows, arrows take different crafting materials, and it just ups the amount of the craft. Can we have a different type of arrow? Maybe flint arrow, because this uses the flint resource, and then iron arrows, because this uses the shaped iron. There's a lot of little things like that to where it's like, okay, a little bit more of a description, or a better description of the item, or even the mechanics of it would probably go a long way. Fire pit here, let's see. Used for cooking food, smelting metals, and staying warm. This doesn't actually say that the fire pit is permanent. If you go to the campfire, same thing. Cooking food, smelting metals, and staying warm. There's no commas in that, by the way. The campfire will break on its own. The fire pit will not. That's a mechanic that should at least be described in the description, so you know if I place down a fire pit, it's going to stay there and it's not going to break. But also, campfires do not turn off. Fire pits do, which is, I think, is something really important to mention as well. But anyway, so that's going to be it for this video. It's a little too long. I wanted to make a lot of really important points for both the pros and the cons, and give my first impression of the game, and to at least let you guys know, hey, I'm gonna be playing this, I'm looking forward to playing it, and I'm hoping you guys look forward to watching me play it. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them in the comment section of the video, but I'm just starting out, so give me a break. I'm learning as I go, and hopefully we'll be able to get you some rockin' content here in the future. So, Sergeant Solj, Hurtworld, my first impression, and we'll see you in the next Hurtworld video, because there's gonna be some. Bye-bye. Ah, fuck, I'm so cold.